I said reckless talk, but I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt. I'm a real one, check my fabric. Look at my fabric, out of this atlas, I point way up. I got a passion mixed with action, boy, don't play. Look at my fabric, out of this atlas, I point way up. I got a passion mixed with action, boy, don't play.
All right, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Don from Kenya Gunas TV, and I'm back again with another video. I'm joining my brother Kwame. Kwame, what's going on, Bano? Kwaje?
I was been brought back down to earth. I thought we would win the Bayern game with a large margin, but the nerves got the better of my Arsenal. So, reality check that we are still toddlers in the Champions League field. For the first time, Raya had nerves. Rice was not in the game. Everybody seemed to have nerves apart from Odegaard. So, yeah.
It may be Saka, because I think Saka actually played very well in that game. But anyway, reality check. In fact, that's the topic, but that's the discussion. The first topic of the discussion, Champions League. So between the teams that are currently playing, we have Arsenal, we have PSG, we have City, we have Dortmund. You know, from your end and from experience, which team by then do you think will actually go all the way? From Real Madrid,
I think Man City and Atletico Madrid.
Real Madrid?
No, Man City. And Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Remember, Real Madrid, are you not convinced? You're not convinced with Real Madrid they're playing? Because surprisingly,
they're coming to the Etihad.
Yeah.
Remember, Man City
drew.
Yeah. So they, of course, they have a good pedigree. They still have some young guys who are learning how to play at the top level. They have Champions League pedigree. They're used to being in the Champions League. So you just never know. If Man City play too open, there's a good chance that these guys can shock them. The good thing, the away goal rule was removed, because if the away goal rule was in this, they would have been out, because Man City would have had 3 away goals. So they would have had to score so many goals just to go through. But I think mentally, even Pep said in his press conference, he said that is, like now Foden, he looks experienced. Now he's scoring for free. See, like for us, you find our good players during those tense matches, the Porto, the Man Cities, because they don't have experience for being in those big games. So that's the difference. The mental, because you're saying like Bayern has pedigree. They are not playing that well in the whatever. But remember, we are saying they are not playing that well, but they are number 2 in the Bundesliga. So it's, I think it's just I don't think Arsenal has the pedigree, but the good thing is that it's still in our hands as Arsenal, because 2-2 is the same as a draw. So it's 50-50. So if you go and play like they did against Porto, they could nick it. They could just nick it. And then that left back, is it the left back or right back of Bayern, the very swift, fast guy, he's been suspended for the second leg. The black guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
I even can't remember his name, but the guy who had an afro. He had a small afro.
No, he doesn't have an afro, but he plays. He gave us a lot of problems coming from left back, right? Because he's very fast. He's like the way this Man City Kyle Walker is. So we were worried about Sane. We were worried about Sane, and we were worried about him. And then Bayern, I noticed we struggle against possession sides. Like, when Man City hog the ball, then you get Bayern who also not scared. They were not scared. Imagine they didn't even have a fan. But they were able to hold the ball. You see, that's the experience.
Now that is experience. In fact, people need to stop this conversation.
And they were scored in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You see, like, shock on us, shock on us. To be honest, but the fair to Bayern Munich. This issue. Guys were saying that we had a very big chance. Even me, I was confident. I actually thought we were actually going to go 4-5-0 against Bayern Munich. But shock on us, just like you said, this stage requires pedigree. This stage requires pedigree, and it actually requires good experience and
and
clearly
mental strength.
and mental strength. And mental
Yeah,
strength.
because Kylian was a bag of nerves. Gabriel was a bag of nerves. I think they're reaching that stage. They're like, we can smell the Champions League. We can smell the Premier League. So the nerves are kicking in again. The nerves. Yeah.
And I'm just praying. I'm praying those nerves don't kick in the Premier League because,
And if you can see, and just to show you what those nerves are.
Yeah.
Look at, what's his name? Gabriel Jesus. He's not playing so well in the Premier League.
The Premier League,
but he's already used to that stage. So, I mean, he's the one who created that goal that made us draw.
Yeah.
He entered and the game changed because he doesn't have fear on the ball. But for us, like, nobody wants to lose the ball. And then they're because Bayern, as a team, they're not that good. But as individuals, they are superstars. They're superstars. Every person is a superstar there. Yeah. So
and that is what happens, despite the fact of Bayern not being a very good side in the Bundesliga.
At the moment, let's use the word not a good side at the moment. Not good side. They're a good side, not a good team. Because Arsenal are a good team. Arsenal are a good team.
Let me just rephrase that. Despite the fact of them not being a good team in the Bundesliga, but they still have good players. They have very, very good players, and they have experienced players. And you see, during the big stages, these are actually now, whether you like it or not, individual brilliance, but in the big stage always comes out. It definitely will come out at some point. So despite the fact of Tuchel not organizing his team and setting up his team well, but they have experienced players like Kane. And, Kane, but has never won any trophy. He has never won any trophy in his life. But I'm sure, but these are the stages where I expect someone like Kane to shine. Yeah. So if we're to go to Allianz Arena next week, we really need to set up well. The best thing we could do, I'm telling you, if next week, if Bayern Munich scores fast, it's curtains. Because that atmosphere, man, that atmosphere is something else. Yeah. So, I mean, technically, from your perspective, are you worried actually for the next week games? For the next week game? The away game.
What I think, unless I don't know, Arteta is also very good at motivating. So if we can play the way we played at Porto, but you see the difference is that Porto allowed us to have the ball a little bit, but Bayern were not afraid to hold the ball. You remember when we scored 2-2, and they made us chase the ball at Emirates. That's confidence. Like, we tried to get the ball to score the third goal, and we almost did. Credit to Saka. But to see the mental strength, because Saka was looking for a penalty instead of just going to the left and putting it in like the way Jesus does. He was looking. He was hanging his leg out, looking for it. That shows, like, he was like mental. Like, people were dropping, trying to look for penalties, trying to.
But in his defense, actually, players are modern day football. That's the thing about modern day football. Modern day football, you're actually told once in the box and you feel a touch, just go down. So I think maybe in his defense, that's exactly what he was trying to do. I mean, get a touch. Once you feel a touch, go down in the box. But to me,
but now imagine that was our last chance to win the game.
Oh yeah.
There was no defender in front of him. It was him and the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's a powerful player. He could have just gone to the left or shimmied, made the goalkeeper make it just the way Trossard does.
Yes.
Like, he knows how to shimmy and make the goalkeeper guess which direction and then place it.
Yeah.
See? So that's what he should have done. At least would have gone to that leg 3-2 up. But now he went for the easy. That's the easy thing. You see, if that I'd expect somebody to do that if you feel like you've been beaten. But you see, now we had all the fans, and that's the thing. The mentality of Arsenal we are 2 or 3 players away from being elite.
Yeah.
But we still have remnants within the squad who don't have a winning mentality. You see, the Nketiahs, the Smith Rose, they're all like small boys. Oh, I hope I get a chance. What like they don't have
the winning
they have
mentality.
the skill, but they don't have the mentality. You see, like somebody like what do you call it? Ibrahimovic, Messi, those are guys who like, look, I
here.
need to get into that field. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. You see, but you could see sometimes somebody has fought for the ball, he's won it, then the other person is like hiding. It's like they're afraid to get the ball.
Yeah.
You see, I don't blame. You see, me, I'm talking here as a fan, but I've played sport and I've been in some tournaments, and sometimes the way you play when you're with your friends and when you are in a tournament and people are shouting and you're feeling the sweat in your back, my friend. You see, people who've never done it, they don't know.
Yeah, cannot experience.
But if you've experienced like a serious tournament,
yes,
and the pressure, my friend,
you just reminded me of my early days in rugby. Hey man, during training, I used to be when I was still young, when I was still trying to rise through the ranks before I hung my boots. Man, in training, but I used to be one of the best players doing all the. I mean, I was so dope. Wait till you get to a tournament. Yani man, I would sweat. Even I would just feel sweat in my ass. Yani, I'm doing things. Is this me? Even the coach is wondering, man, what's wrong with you, man? You're always shining in training.
That's why Africans, because we have the physical attributes. We have the genetics.
Yeah.
But the Wazungus, you find the white guys. Okay, I hope this is not racial, but it's not racial. It's just saying like many of these European or white guys, they work on the mentality of the kids from childhood.
Oh yeah, confidence.
They go so many tournaments. You see, in Africa, your parents can't afford to take you for many tournaments, and then you're busy being told study. What your parents don't have money, but there you see you're being told. You go to a. These guys even have like what do you call it? Career coaches and psychologists. So they ask you, so what did you fear? What? So like they work on your brain and on your mind. Because you notice like a lot of these Africans, they panic, like sometimes during big games, the guy will lash out, cause a red card. And it doesn't mean that they're not good. It's just panic, like the pressure to win, the pressure to be ahead. And you see sometimes when you've come from poor situation, you feel inferior. And so sometimes you feel the pressure, you see. But you see like Germans, they are normally, at least for the longest I've watched the Bundesliga and all that, they're ice cold, and they're coaching from the youth system. They have a very, very strong mentality. You see, when you look at the Portuguese, they sell players like their best players, but come next season, they just have this win, like fearless. You see, like Porto. You see, like they just have that mentality, like they don't fear. They'll play the ball. They'll do everything. Yeah. So so I think that's the part of the game. If there are any, the bad thing, there are not many football academies because not many people can afford to take their children to those football academies. Many parents are like focus on education, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a what, but nobody is working on the mind because it costs money. You see, for example, if somebody knows in Europe that my kid has football potential, like the Odegaard, you see how his father was heavily involved. He used to do extra training. Then he used to have sessions with the therapist. So by the time these kids have going to the Champions League, they have played so many tournaments. They know how to prepare mentally for it and all that. Oh, now you know that, the whole village, the whole country is watching you. Right? Then then you go in there and you just hear like the stadiums. They're not like our stadiums here. Like it's loud. And there are banners and everybody is chanting. Some are even insulting you, racial slurs. And the whole you play the occasion and you don't play the game. So
gets your head.
It's easy to say. Even Man City, it took time. It's the way PSG now. PSG has very good players, but why is it that just getting the next hurdle, just that next hurdle? is so difficult to get into that elite Champions League, like the Barca's and the whatever and the Real Madrid's, Bayern's.
Yeah.
Man, that it's crazy. Yeah. So I think from an Arsenal perspective, it's the mental side, and I think that's what I'm saying. Atletico Madrid might shock people. They might shock people. They might shock people because their run up to the whatever is easier. I see Atletico Madrid going to the final. Yeah. So let's, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. For me, I still think City are still my favorites to win the title race. That is in the Premier League. But anyway, time will tell. Now, switching gears, the Premier League. We have now the top 3 teams basically contesting for the Premier League. You basically know right now is the business end of things, man. Games are coming in thick and fast. Surprisingly, Atlanta, a team that nobody thought would beat Liverpool at Anfield. Kwame, get that?
Italians are tacticians. Italians never underestimate those guys. Those, you see, De Zerbi is Italian. You see, those guys are so tactical.
Yeah,
they know how to, if they study your game. And then Klopp made a bad mistake and tried to play because he has an eye. He wants to win the Premier League or Europa League. So he thought, let me balance, because they've been playing well. So he thinks, I can handle Atlanta. Then I can focus on, because their run of games are not too hard in the Premier League.
Yeah,
backfired. They're not going to overturn against an Italian team. Overturn the 3-0. Not. So now that will change the dynamic of the Premier League, because then they'll be kicked out and now they'll only focus on the Premier League.
The Premier League,
that will be an advantage. I was hoping they'd stay a bit longer so that it affects their games in the but you never know. I'm also hoping that they are affected by this loss. It's either that or it could wake them up. But overturning 3-0 against an Italian side, it's
because for sure I know before Klopp leaves the stage, he wants to win a cup. So it's either he wins the Europa Cup or he wins the Premier League. So this now just coming back to Premier League, definitely it's going to get tougher. But then one might also think, remember last season also we had the best side before Saliba got injured. We got kicked out of the Europa League. Then all of a sudden, but they just started crumbling in the Premier League just like that. So are you seeing a situation now by now? What do we be talking about? Legs catching up with Liverpool, because they have quite a number of players who are injured. Yeah. So do you foresee legs catching up with Liverpool to a point they start now capitulating? Because
I don't see Liverpool winning the Champions League, because I told you I saw their away games.
The Premier League, you mean the Premier League?
Yeah, the Premier League. Yeah, if they struggled against what was the game they played? If they struggled against Man United,
yeah.
I don't see them surviving Aston Villa and Tottenham, and because they have some serious games coming on their side also, away games.
Oh yeah.
Some teams that are fighting, like Everton and all that. So it might not be as easy as it looks. In fact, City might get the double because their run of games are easy.
Yeah,
and the way they played away at Real Madrid, the composure. I think now when it comes back this side, they might just do something. So I respect Pep a lot. So he might just shock us. In fact, I think Man City might be in both finals. The way I look at it, Arsenal, it's ours to lose in the league because we are not playing against any top 3 side.
Yeah.
But I think balancing the Champions League and all that. But also it might work in our favor. That's one scenario. Scenario 2 is Bayern kicks us out. Then we throw all our energy on
the Premier League,
on our last games. So we are angry. Then we are like, we are not dropping points. Then we go and win the Premier League, and then Man City goes on to win the
Champions League.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
In
But
fact,
the way I'm seeing that we have only left Man City by 1 point, and I don't see Man City dropping any game.
no, for
Now
sure.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's up to us. So that chances are we might drop or draw a game, and then Man City gets that chance. And once they get it, they are not dropping any points.
They're not dropping. They're not
They're
dropping
not
any
dropping.
points actually. I mean, these guys have the experience. Kwame. That's why guys are getting excited. Arsenal fans have a tendency of getting excited, especially these young guys who just started watching football the other day. Relax yourself, guys. I'm talking to you guys, man. Relax yourself. It's never done till it's done. So all these things I'm seeing, oh, we are winning the league. Relax yourself, yeah. Relax yourself. Winning the league calls for experience. So, like Kwame, I mean, we've been here, we've seen it happen, we've seen ourselves boldly in the last season. So I don't want to be excited, but to be honest, we stand a very big chance. It's all in our hands because I think we have the right players, we have the right team, we have the right coach. So actually, by the Arsenal players, if you guys are listening to us, it's up to you guys to decide if you want the Premier League or not because it's only 7 games away. It's 7 games away. And looking at the games we have left, we don't have such a tough side. I mean, you're meeting up with Aston Villa. It's at home. You already know how Aston Villa plays. Yes, they have some quite serious players. Ole
Yeah,
Watkins. Those are
yeah.
players that you definitely have to find a way of locking them,
And they're
locking
also
up.
in they're also in the Europa, and they won their game. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping that they are going to be drained.
yeah,
They're going to be drained from
yeah.
playing
So
the whatever.
yeah. So like you see, these small teams, these teams that people are seeing. Of course, Spurs. We've always had a very good run against Spurs. Last season, we beat them both home and away. In fact, the away game when they still had Conte, we played very well. We scored 3 goals, beat them at home.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
way Spurs is playing right now, the way Big Ange, the current coach, hey man, Spurs is a team that you definitely have to be in the lookout for. So actually, switching gears now. Speaking of now, Spurs, Tottenham Spurs. Between because I think I just had I sent you the banner on WhatsApp. I'll also project it, but as I'm editing this video. So like as from the 28th of April, Spurs have back-to-back games against the top three sides. So the 28th of April, which is going to be my birthday, by the way. 28th of April is going to be my birthday.
Mhm.
Spurs is going to be playing with Arsenal. Oh, come on, Arsenal, please don't ruin my birthday. Please, 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 don't ruin my birthday. Then we have Liverpool on the 5th of May. They're going to be playing
Mhm.
Liverpool. And then
Mhm.
on the 14th of May, they're going to be playing Man City. So on Arsenal against Arsenal, it's away. Against Liverpool, it's at Anfield. Then against Man City, it's also away. So now we now start with Arsenal. Okay, so we are
Mhm.
playing Swazi because the teams that I think we might actually drop points against these Tottenham Hotspurs, and I'm also
Man
fearful
United.
of Man United because despite the fact one thing when Arsenal plays against Man U at OT, Man U always stands up. They always stand up.
Mhm.
They always stand up against the big side. I mean, look at what these guys did to Liverpool. Look what they did to Liverpool. So, Man U is a side that you can't write off. So those are teams that I fear. But now going between Spurs and Arsenal, Kwame, on your end, man, are you confident of us winning this game?
Which game? The Spurs game.
The Spurs game. The Spurs game, yeah.
I think tactically, uh, I think we can. I've seen the way we played against them. It's just that I don't know what has happened to our possession football. Like I remember the last time we played against them, we
Mm-hmm.
caused them problems. Like we were very good on the ball, but I think of late I've seen we've lost. Like we are not holding the ball a bit well because I think the only way to beat them is in the midfield. If you can control
Yeah.
the ball, if you can control the ball, you control the midfield, you win the game in such a game.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
so I think also that fear because I don't know, it's not a good fear, and I don't want to look like I don't believe in the Arsenal squad, but I think I suspect that we'll be kicked out next week against Bayern, and then once you're kicked out, then we'll have anger inside us, so we'll have
Yeah.
the fire to win these next games, and Man City will still be in the Champions League, and so they won't be able to balance both sides. and so they will drop some points, and that will give room. And then for Liverpool, I think people have known how to play against them. What is favoring us against Liverpool is that a lot of games they have a lot of away games, right? For Man City,
Kwame. So is the thing about Spurs, thing about Tottenham Hotspurs. They also have a reputation of bottling it. So, and we've always had a good run against Spurs. So I'm okay. Part of me feels like they might give us a hard time, because remember, this game, the first leg we actually drew it them. We drew it Hotspurs. So they have quite some hard runners right now. They have Madison, they have Son. In fact, but the dangerous players that Spurs has is Son and Madison. Those are players that currently Richarlison is injured. So I don't know how long his injury is, but I don't think that he's going to be back. Maybe he might be back. But Sonny and Madison, oh my God, those are players that sharp. Those guys run. Those guys, because those are guys.
They make life hell.
Somebody like Sony, once Sony has the ball in the box, just know that's a score. He doesn't second guess himself. I like that guy's mentality. That guy is a goal scoring machine. He gets the ball, by the way, 1v1. Just know that Sony's there.
And that's now where Arsenal needs to be. That's why I don't feel pity for Emil Smith-Rowe, Nketiah, and Reece Nelson. They don't have the mentality.
Yeah.
You need guys who will make you say, hey, if I don't play well, I'm out.
Yeah.
So, but right now we don't have that. So, but we are tactically very good. Our defense is winning us games. But for the first time in the Bayern, that's what I felt, whatever. But so we are talking about the Premier League. So Spursy, I think they could just be spoilers, because you see they're playing Liverpool, they're playing Man City, and they're playing Arsenal. So and I don't see them losing all those games.
Yeah,
I don't see
that.
They could either draw or win.
Yeah. And you see, it's interesting how those games are just following each other per week. So this week they play Arsenal. Next week they play Liverpool. Next week they play Man City. So I don't think whether they're going to lose. They're going to lose all the 3 games. So between these 3 teams that are currently competing for the Premier League, one of them has to give in. So I don't know who that is going to be. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know who you think that might be. But then we have Liverpool against Spurs. Liverpool against Spurs at Anfield. I know, man. I don't think the club is going to allow Liverpool. It's going to allow that. I don't think at Anfield. Do you think these guys are going to draw points?
Atlanta beat them, and I'm sure that coach is watching that. Watch that game. And Ange is,
big
guy. Yeah, I'm sure he's watched that game, and he's like, okay. There's a because me, I trust Sony in front. Sony is fearless.
Yeah.
You see, so I know they they say styles make fights.
Yeah.
So the style that Tottenham plays doesn't go well with the Liverpool side, because they hold the ball. So that plays against the Liverpool side. Yeah, because most of the time they're used to having the ball. So so it will be an interesting run of games. I think because Tottenham is not in Europa League, right?
They're currently just playing the Premier League. That's what they're playing right now, the Premier League.
Yeah, so they are not winning the Premier League, but they want to be in the Champions League. So they have everything. They have everything to play for. So
and just like you said, they have everything to play for. And between these 3 sides, I don't think they're going to allow. I don't think they're going to lose all these games. But then, interestingly, and these are just stats. The last time Man City beat Spurs, both home and away. The funny thing about Spurs, they've always had a very good record against Man City. The first leg when they met up with Man City at Etihad, they actually drew. I think they drew 4-4. Was it 4-4? It was a high-scoring game. Was it 3? I don't remember very well. It was a high-scoring game, so they drew. But then last season, I remember they still had Conte when they were at their poorest. They beat Man City at Spurs at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I think for me, going by the way things have been rolling out previously, I think Spurs might just give Man City by the a shocker.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And do
I
you think
think so.
Arsenal will beat Spurs away?
Coming by the if the thing is this in Africa, the biggest rivalry in Africa by this is between Man United and Arsenal. But then in the North London Derby, I'm telling you, Spurs and Arsenal, that's one of the biggest rivalries in the North London Derby. In fact, that's why it's actually even called the North London Derby. And the thing about Spurs, even when we're at our worst,
You always find a way.
even back in the days when he still had Wenger, when these guys signed all the best players, when they had this guy, I'm forgetting the guy who went to who came from Spurs and went to Real Madrid. What's this guy's
Modric,
name?
Luka
Not
Modric.
Modric, not Modric.
Modric was a Spurs player, and there are
Yeah,
two.
but
Actually,
there are
two.
two.
There was Modric, and
Yes,
Modric is a super midfielder. I don't know why you forgot that. And I know who you're talking about. The Wales player. The Wales player. What was his name?
Gareth
Gareth.
Bale. Gareth
Mm,
Bale. When these guys
yeah.
had Gareth Bale, we still found a way out. So the thing about I think, but they can go past these guys. We can go past these guys. I'm not fearful of Spurs. We have a pedigree of beating these guys, despite the fact of them being in the, having the best players and having the best coach. Who knew but they'd beat Spurs when they had Mourinho? You remember when Mourinho came, man, all fearful. Hey, Mourinho, man, the tactician, huh? Mourinho, the girls won everything. We were so scared, but Ateta beat this guy. You remember when he had the Uber? Ateta beat this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Spazi, I'm confident, but they might beat them. But anyway, this is football. You never know. I don't want to write them off, but we've
Yeah.
always had a very good run against them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's it. So, I think this sums up this conversation for the Gunners Galore podcast. So, guys, first of all, let me just take this opportunity to thank the guys who've taken the time to smash the subscribe button. We are now actually 1K subs. The road right now is actually to 1,000 subs. Big up yourself. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank
Yeah,
you, guys. Thank
so
you, guys.
yeah, I think I'd want to wrap this conversation up. Kwame, thank you for tuning in. This Sunday, it's Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Kwame, I'll be seeing you on that one. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.
Come on.